Hello everyone, Carol Garrison with Carol's Creative Escape. Today I am going to show you how to make a simple shaker card using one of the new stamp sets from the January to June mini catalog. It's the Sweet Conversations, which is a great Valentine's Day themed stamp set. It is photopolymer, so you can see what stamps you've got in here real easily. Clean them up, put them away with the markings that are on the inside cover. And I'm just using the greeting from this stamp set. And then there's a coordinating set of dies called the Sweetheart dies. It's a set of 16 dies. Lots of hearts, a tag, different size hearts, and then a couple banner type punches as well. So you're going to see me use a couple different ones of these dies, as well as this one, which actually makes a cute little envelope. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to try to shift light here a little bit, maybe, so we don't have as big a glare. And the card that I'm going to show you how to make is this one. And like I said, it's a shaker card, but without the foam where stuff sometimes sticks. So hopefully you can see pieces moving around in here. And this is also using the Designer Series paper that goes with the stamp set. It is the, I have a piece of paper blocking the name of it, sorry. It is the SweetTalk Designer Series Paper. There's some really cute Valentine Day designs in that pack of paper. So this particular card is using Real Red and Blushing Bride as the layers on the card. And then I just cut up confetti of different colors to add in there and shake it out. And then I used the heart dies to cut out some of the silver hearts to throw in here. And I made this little envelope, again, using the dies. So this is my stamp card. And then the inside, I decorated it with one of the die cuts and my Happy Valentine's Day greeting. So I'm going to show you how to make this card, but in a pastel version. So if you want to get paper and pencil real quick while I grab my supplies, I can give you measurements for different things. Starting with the cardstock, I'm going to be using the Highland Heather cardstock cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and you'll score it at 4 1/4. I actually did not get this scored, but that's all right. I can just fold it in half, and I'll use my bone folder to do that. So again, it's the Highland Heather at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then you need, for this particular card, you're going to need 2 pieces of basic white cardstock cut at 4 1/4 by 4 by 5 1/4. One of these will go inside the card, and one of them will be the layer on the card. And then you will need a piece of the Designer Series paper, and this measures, isn't this cute with the pastel hearts, the conversation hearts, 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and that'll form our layer up here. And then using the Designer Series paper, again, I cut out a series of 4 of the hearts with the dies. It coordinates very nicely with this Designer Series paper. The frames just go around and cut it out, so you get that. I also made an envelope, and I used that, it's the sparkly vellum paper, which I know is not the right name, but it's the sparkly vellum paper. And I will try to come up with the name for you here in just a second. It is the In Color Shimmer Vellum paper, and I used the Highland Heather tone. I guess it's Fresh Freesia, actually, is the purple tone in there, but it goes fine with what we are doing here. And then I just took a little piece of basic white cardstock scrap. It measures 1 inch wide by, I don't know, like 1 1/8 inch tall, to put inside my envelope. And then normally people use sequins and things like that for these cards. I was planning to do that until I discovered that all the sequins I have are self-adhesive, you know, with the sticky back. So that wasn't going to work for me. So I just took a bunch of my scraps and cut them up into little pieces. And then, like I said, I die cut some of the hearts using the dies here. I used this size, this size, this size, and this one on here. So I got just a couple different sizes of the hearts. And that added a little bit of silver in here. And like I said, then just took scraps and created my own confetti to put in the cards. So not a big deal. That didn't take very long at all to do that. So the other thing that you need, and I thought I had one up here, I do, is the clear envelopes. And you want one that isn't torn. Sometimes they start to slit just a little bit on the side. You want to make sure that all four sides are going to be sealed tightly, because that's going to be an important part for completing the card and keeping the confetti in there. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, this is a simple kind of faux shaker card, very easy to do, and doesn't take any of the foam pieces, where for me anyhow, I find I tend to get stuff stuck. I actually need this piece of cardstock, so I'm going to dump out my mess. And I've gone back and forth which side I'm going to use, and I am actually going to use this one that has the love in all sorts of different languages, and use the hearts to accent it. So we're going to put that there. I am going to stamp my Happy Valentine greeting in Highland Heather. So I will grab my ink pad and try to keep it off my fingers. It wouldn't be stamping with Carol if she didn't get ink on her fingers. Alright, so I'll ink up my Happy Valentine's Day greeting and get it kind of centered towards the top. And anybody who hasn't seen one of my videos before, I always will put my sentiments, any of my stamped images, actually on my block crooked. I do that on purpose so that when I go to line it up on my card, I'm focusing on my stamp image as opposed to the block and whether or not I have that straight. For me, I get straighter stamped images, particularly when I'm working with sentiments. So that is why I do that. All right, I'm going to set that aside so I'm sure that my ink is dry. And then I'm going to grab my seal and just put that here. And again, when you're using the seal, I find that a gentle pressure and that quick check snap works really well to prevent the tape from kind of cutting short. Hit a little bit of red ink on here, so I'm going to flip that over. I didn't have it quite centered, so I'm going to try to grab it off. There we go. And I'm just going to center this on my white cardstock. And that is all I'm doing to this layer. So the next thing I'm going to do is take this clear envelope, and obviously is one I've used for something else because the protective strip is off of that. But I'm going to go ahead and slide this into the envelope. And then make sure that I have it down all the way to the bottom. So you'll have some clear space up on top. And you want your cardstock down, well, it doesn't matter if it's down or up and to the edge. You just want to have it so there's no real clear space. Like that. And then I'm just going to take a handful of my confetti. Literally, not a huge handful, and I'm going to dump it into my envelope. And I want to make sure that I keep it away from this clear edge because it's just easier. If it gets there, you're just going to pick it out a little bit. Let me clear off where it's stuck to the adhesive. So again, I'm going to just tap down to make sure that I've got my cardstock to the edges. And then we're gonna fold this flap all the way down. So you're gonna kind of ignore the crease that's there. Press it down so it's closed. And then what I like to do is just take a little piece of the tear and tape and run it along here. And I do that because I want to make sure I'm getting a really good seal with my adhesive on the kind of slipperier cellophane. And then I'm going to fold down this on the back side, and I want it to be tight as I fold it down. And so now that is sealed, and voila, you've got a shaker card. No foam pieces involved at all. Okay, we'll get rid of the rest of those little pieces. And then again, I just, because I'm dealing with the slippery part, like to put more of this on all four sides. And like I said, you can use sequins, you can use, if you have things that you punch out and you get the little bits and pieces from inside your card, save those. You can use those to be part of your shaker fill. If you want specific colors, I cut my strips of paper about 1/8 of an inch thick and then just ran them through my chopper. Actually, I tried using this little chopper and it didn't work very well because I was trying to do it fast and it was too thick. I actually found it was easier just to take my scissors and cut a strip, like 3 or 4 strips at a time into these little pieces. And they don't have to be all the same size and shape. You want them all a little bit different. So we're going to, do what you need to do to get it done. Otherwise, sequins will work just fine too. And then we are going to peel off the tape backing here. And I'm actually going to add one more little strip of adhesive here, only because I want to make sure this flap stays down. So I'm going to just put another little piece going across. I didn't do that the first time and I should have. Okay. Peel that off. And then I am going to just tape this to the front of my card. And again, I'm just going to center it. Okay. And so there you've got your shaker with your words coming through. You can put as much or as little. This might maybe have a little too much in it, but some people would argue that you can never have too much in it. So up to you. Let me grab my seal. That's my practice adhesive. All right. And we're just gonna, oh, Carol, stop setting it down on stuff. Center this on the inside. And then all we have left to do is to decorate the outside of our card. And so we're going to put on 3 hearts over here. And I used just regular adhesive when I did that because it's not holding anything down. So I just kind of put this one here. And I slid this one so it was a little bit behind the purple. And this granny apple green one, I'm going to tuck just on top. So you've got those 3 hearts to add a little color. And then we've got this cute little envelope. Now what I have found, the easiest thing to do, I actually get out my little glue here because I can put just a small strip right here and close it up, and it doesn't really show through on here. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the back, just enough to hold it. Actually, I lied. I did not do that on the back. I need to grab a couple dimensionals, and I am out of the large ones on my desktop, so I'm just going to throw some mini dimensionals on here. Again, normally I just put a few large ones on here, but this is going to help me get through the video tonight. What's at hand? Whoops. And I'll pop that up here. And don't worry about that dimensional showing through because we will be covering it up. The next thing that I did was just put a little bit of glue on the back side of this white piece, mostly because I just didn't want it slipping out. It's not really meant to be coming out. And so I tuck that in part way. And I didn't have it down all the way because I'm using that to attach my heart to it. And this, you can just, again, do a little bit of adhesive. I wouldn't go into the upper part of the heart on this card because I want it to pop out. It isn't the end of the world if you do it. I just want to make sure that I'm not that I am covering up the dimensionals. And then, because I do enjoy dressing up the inside of my cards a little bit, I am going to add one of my frames that I created when I was actually using the die cut strictly to get the centers out. I really liked the frame and thought these need to go on my card. And so I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive in the middle and right there on the end. And then I'll open this up, and these I'll just put in the center at the bottom of my card. And there you go. That is a simple shaker card. So make your own confetti, use what you've got on hand, clear envelope, your designer paper, however you want to decorate the front, decorate your inside, and you're good to go. So I hope you enjoyed that and that you have a chance to try this. Kind of the faux shaker card sort of thing. Thanks everyone for taking time to watch the video. If you like it, be sure to give me a thumbs up or a heart. And if you know of somebody else who might like this video, feel free to share it with them as well. Have a great evening, everyone. Bye-bye.